I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and today I'm doing an unboxing and rambling of Slay the Spire. Now, I don't have my coffee with me today, just have the knife shot and all that. No coffee this time around. Usually, I do my unboxing and ramblings with coffee. The problem is, I've been pushing off this unboxing for, I want to say, like a week and a half now, and that means I also haven't played this game for like a week and a half now, and I just had my afternoon coffee like an hour ago, which means I can't have another coffee this time around, so this time around, we're going to do it just alone. Which feels sad, but I've been waiting too long for this. Anyways, this is an unboxing and rambling. If you are new to the channel, that means we are going to talk a little bit about the game whenever it's relevant. We'll go over some things, the cards and all that stuff. I'll probably talk about, the various games I've been playing on Steam and all that stuff. Some of the adjacent games. We'll get into various things. It's about whatever happens to show up in these unboxing ramblings. But again, some knowledge of the game will be present. I have played this. Not only did I play the prototype version of this game, but I also played it recently at Gamma. The creator of the game was at Gamma at the coffee. It was my chance to play the game for the first time since the prototype phase, and, well, I played it, and I'm equally as excited for it. I'll also say, by the way, have you seen the Dice Tower coverage of the game? What was it, a 9? Was it 3? It was a 9, and a 8.5? Was that the ratings? I think that's what the ratings on the Dice Tower, which, honestly, I don't disagree with that. I think I gave it a 5 out of 5. Although I do get some of the potential complaints around the game, because I think there are lots of complaints to be had. For me, it's a 5, but it's a 5 with caveats. This game might not be right for you, and also, I probably should play it more because I never got to finish the full experience. I played this during the prototype phase, which meant I knew that they had a lot of plans for a variety of things, from the various Ascension modes, which I believe they had a few Ascension modes I got a chance to play with briefly during the prototype phase, but the whole 3-arc campaign, all these various things, I didn't get to experience the full game. What I did get to experience was awesome. And what I did get to experience very much felt like Slay the Spire. This is not going to be a review. I don't know if there actually will be another review on this game. Yeah, maybe you'll see me play it or talk about it or whatever. I'm sure it'll show up in top whatever lists or something, I don't know. But as far as reviews, what is this? Oh, there's an Ascension rule on the rulebook. Let's go ahead and do this. But anyways, I don't know if I'll bother re-reviewing it unless there's a reason to do so. I actually have an upcoming video planned on page 20. So basically, here's our rulebook over here. I have an upcoming video planned of basically going over, 10 prototypes that have arrived and how they're doing. It's kind of like not really a top 10 list per se, but it's more of a list of, hey, here are games I already reviewed. I don't want to do another video again on it, so here's how I feel about it currently. And I don't know, there are times when, okay, this is going to be 7 harder encounters. Replace 2, oh, gotcha, okay, I see it now, So we're going to go ahead and replace this over here. So there's a little typo over here, that shouldn't be that way, so we're going to replace this rule with the sticker that is, better, I guess? Replace, let's do this correctly. Okay, it's going to be mostly correct, okay. No, I went too far, I didn't cover the initial R. Now it's not going to have the same stickiness. It's not going to have the same stickiness, so we'll never have the same stickiness again, unfortunately. But I don't know how to misjudge that. There we go, okay. Okay, I think I cover the dash, but that's better. Okay, I cover the dash, but I can live with covering the dash. Having an extra R I don't like. That's better. There we go. We got our harder encounter set up. We are good to go. Anyways, back to what I was saying over here. So, I don't often like to re-review games. There are times I've done so. I remember I did it for Ragnarok. I did it for, oh my gosh, what's it called? The one currently on crowdfunding right now. Geez. What's currently on crowdfunding? From Rogue-Lite Entertainment, and that game, whatever that game is called, something North America? Wildlife? No. I can't remember the name of the game. Rogue-Lite Entertainment has a game currently on crowdfunding. That's the game I reviewed again. Anyways, the point is, there are times where I do review games twice, but it's usually the exception. Usually I want to review a game, and if there's a reason I'm coming back to it, it's because there's new content, there's expansion stuff, there's something different or changed. But again, there are times I'll make an exception. There are times I'll sit there and say, you know what, this time round, I'm going to go ahead and review it twice. Now, I don't know if that'll happen with Slay the Spire or not. I don't know. Maybe I'll do an updated review. Maybe I'll do a 12 by 12 review. So 12 by 12 review is a format I have where I basically, if I've played the game enough times in all its different ways, usually it's a minimum of 12 times, but more specifically, I have to have played it a minimum of 12 times, but in all different formats. So at all different player counts so basically for Slay the Spire, what I'd have to do, based on my knowledge of the game, I'd have to play it at all different player counts. I'd have to play it at, with all the Ascension modes. Let's go to page 20 again. Ascension modes, if you don't know about it, are basically ways of making the game harder. There are 13 different Ascension modes in the game. That might be a lot. There's achievements. Maybe I'll do a bunch of the Ascension modes, some of the daily climb. The daily climb, they have the daily climb, I love that. The various unlocks, the achievements, I don't know. There might be a Act 4, dear lord. there may be a point where I do a 12 by 12 review of the game, where I go through, I've played all the characters and all that stuff. So basically, fully experience the game in all its forms. So that's the next time you can expect to see a coverage on Slay the Spire, in my opinion. Past that, we have these. I'm going to open up all these because I don't care. These are the playmats, by the way. This is your merchant marketplace. So anyways, this is Slay the Spire, the board game. It may not be for you. The biggest reason why it won't be for you is if you are someone who sits there and says, why should I pay $100 for this when it's $15 on Steam and goes on sale? My answer to you is you shouldn't. If you are not someone who's, if you're someone who's looking for a reason not to get this game, then I don't think, this is beautiful, I love this. If you're looking for reasons not to get the game, I think you shouldn't. If you are happy to Slay the Spire, this is basically Slay the Spire in a board game. There's only 2 reasons to get this, only 2, okay, ready? Reason number 1 would be that you want to play this game cooperatively. I believe there is a mod to play Slay the Spire, the video game, cooperatively, but I don't think it fully covers I think there's reasons why it's different or exceptions or whatever. But either way, if you want to play this game cooperatively, this game gives you the opportunity to do so. Regular Slay the Spire is a solo game. I'm also realizing I'm not giving you a lot of information about Slay the Spire, it's all over the place, whatever. We'll come back to that. But reason number 2 to get this game would be as if you are someone who, like me, wants to play these types of games in the tabletop form. There's many times where I just want to sit down and just play through Slay the Spire because I just want to have fun and I just want something a little digital and call it a day and it feels board game adjacent and great. And that's great. That's great for when I want that. There's other times where I want to play tabletop games. And for that, this is a game that I like enough that I'm willing to have, well, this expensive game over here to play through it just whatever, even though it's not digital, even though it has extra work and all that. But if you are someone that doesn't care about the multiplayer aspect and you aren't compelled enough by the reason why you should get this game, then my answer is it might not be for you. If you are happy with your $15 at the Spire, there are other board games you can spend hundreds of dollars on. You don't need to get this one. As far as what Slay the Spire is, for the part we inevitably skipped, Slay the Spire is a roguelike deck building game. It became massively successful, did not launch to a ton of critical reception, but lots of streaming success helped it go really viral, and became something that lots of creators have tried to create clones of this game to a large extent. I'll tell you today about some of my favorites from the ones I've played, and I'm going to ask you in exchange if you could tell me about the ones you've played that you recommend. I was supposed to do a stream. I was supposed to be streaming, I can't remember what game. Balatro. I was supposed to be streaming Balatro. Forgot about that. Anyways, yeah, so I would say that this has created an entire genre. There are hundreds of games that are roguelike deck building games on Steam right now, and they're all inspired from Slay the Spire, in my opinion. Slay the Spire, if I recall correctly, was inspired by, I want to say Dominion and something else. The creators of this game played Dominion and a different game that I can't remember. But they played 2 games that inspired them to create this game. They created, it's a digital deck building roguelike game. Digital because it's only digitally available, and deck building because you're building a deck, and roguelite because you are unlocking content as you go through it, as you slowly go through the experience. It is one of the best in the genre, if not the best in the genre. I don't know if I've played any other game that is better than Slay the Spire. I have played games I've gone through phases of, but ultimately, Slay the Spire is the one I always come back to. If you have one that you think is actually genuinely better than Slay the Spire, let me know. Then again, I've played a bunch of these versions of these types of games where the comments had someone who reviewed it saying, it's better than Slay the Spire, and I didn't feel that way. So, I might disagree with you, but I'm open to your suggestions. Anyways, going back to that, so we covered a few things. We covered Slay the Spire. Let's cover some of the, so the tabletop game over here is going to be expensive. That's the biggest reason it might not be for you. There's 2 reasons why you might want to avoid this game. Even though I give it a 5 out of 5, a rating which I think holds true, even just based on my playing it at Gamma, this game is so much fun. I'm upset that I've had this closed for the past week and a half while I was waiting to unbox it. But the 2 reasons why, it might not be for you are the price point. This is not a cheap game, and you can buy the digital game very cheaply. And the second reason would be the cleanup. This game has done an excellent job. There were a lot of concerns from a variety of people, myself included, about whether this game would be able to give you the experience of Slay the Spire with all the randomness and chaos that Slay the Spire can have, and this game won't necessarily have that because it's not digital. How will they be able to mimic all the digital elements of the game? Well, and my answer to that aspect is they did a great job of that. And you can check out reviews, a lot of reviews, not just the Dice Tower, but anyone who's actually been playing the game, check out their reviews. A lot of people have been very positive about how well, these are nice coins. I don't know if I care. Although I don't know what the video game coins look like. Do they have the hole for them? I don't know. But either way, I would say that the general opinion of the game seems to be pretty positive. It seems to be that a lot of people are happy with how this game has gone and been developed and feels like the video game. So overall, that part I think is pretty fine on. The one area outside of the cost that you might want to be mindful around is the fact that this game is the teardown. The actual gameplay itself, very low amount of tediousness. They did a great job making sure everything was just a good time the whole way through. We got some miniatures over here. Why miniatures? Because it's just an excuse to charge more for a game. I mean, they're nice. I'm not against them. Just they literally stand there. They're player pawns. But the part where there is a little bit of extra work is when you're done playing Slay the Spire. If I'm done playing Slay the Spire, the video game, I hit go again and I just play the game. If I'm done playing Slay the Spire, the board game, I have to unsleeve some stuff, turn around cards, reset, put things back into the deck. Depending on how far you got, you're talking about a process that's anywhere from 3 minutes on the low end, probably around 5 to 7 minutes on the average, if I had to guess, and then possibly like maybe 10 minutes if you've gotten all the way through. I'm sure you can time yourself and push it and whatever, but the cleanup time from a full session, is not the same as the video game where you just hit reset. That's the area where this game does suffer, in my opinion. And suffer is a relative term, but that's the area where if you're used to the ease of the video game, you're not going to find that in the board game. But the rest of it is very easy. The rest of it, grabbing cards from decks, upgrading cards by flipping them in the sleeves, all that is excellent. So they did a great job overall. Obviously, by the way, we now have Slay the Spire 2 coming out. I don't know if you've caught that announcement, but Slay the Spire finally, at this point, said we're doing Slay the Spire 2. And when I say finally, I don't even know what I mean by that. I guess the way I look at it is, it seems like it's easy money for them. It's like a whole lot of people who are going to buy that day one. It just makes sense that they've done that. Past that, we got some bosses. We have a packet of cards that I will not open because, let me show you the insert we got over here. This is going to be the insert as far as how we have it over here. We have some sort of locked something. I guess these are contents for the bags, the locking. I don't know. I'm going to have to go through the rule book properly. Over here, so that packet that I didn't show you over there was a packet full of stop. Don't open until you unlock Act 4 or reach Ascension 10. When you do, read the back of this card. Now I'm gonna look at the back of this. Okay, same warning. I wanted to see if they had something on the back, but I wasn't gonna spoil that for you in case you didn't want that. So anyways, that's kind of where I am. I like this game a lot. Having played it recently-ish, I'm looking forward to playing this again now that I have this in front of me. I really enjoyed playing through the prototype. I had a lot of fun with this. I thought it played great. Oh, multiplayer. Remember how I told you that multiplayer is a good reason to play the game? In my opinion, multiplayer works best at 2 players. For me, this is a game where I prefer it the most at 2. I find at higher player counts, I'm less invested in what's going on, and I find it drags on a little too long. I would play it, I think, with 3 or 4 people who really knew what they were doing. But outside of really knew what they were doing, I think I'd play it solo, and I'm fine with it solo. Like, as much as I like the video game, I'm fine playing the solo. There is additional interaction that you won't find unless you're playing a multiplayer. But anyways, let's go through some of the bosses over here. So these are various bosses. It's going to be a Act 1 boss. You have the Hexaghost, the Guardian, the Collector over here, the Champ, the Bronze Automaton, the Awakened one. These are summons, I believe. No, the Act 3. The Time Eater. Oh my gosh, the Time Eater is so hard to beat. The Donu over here. What the hell? The Awakened one Phase 2. The Deca. This is a summon, I guess. Anyways, we got all these over here as far as your various enemy bosses. There's some summons. The summons are going to come with other bosses, I guess. Summon the Deca. So we have the Donu and the Deca. That's what it was. The Donu and the Deca. There we go. Because you'll have a system over here where whenever they have multiple characters that come in pairs, they just have you summon it with the other one. Anyways, that's as far as the bosses you're going to be going through. Now, there's a lot of cards to go through. I will go through some cards so you get a sense of it, especially if you're a fan of Slay the Spire and haven't seen this board game. You might want to see some of the examples of how the game manifests itself. But they did a good job with things. The way they manifested the marketplace, the way they manifested the randomness of cards and how creatures have different intents every single round, the way they simplified all of that. He did a great job with this game overall. We have this upgrade book, by the way. Upgrades and items reference. Okay, fine. Okay, starter decks. Okay, these are all the... in case you want to see all the cards coming, I guess that's useful. Relics, colorless upgrades, boss relics, potions, which we're going to actually see a few over here because we have our... Let's zoom in a drop more. There we go. Okay, blood vial over here. So we have our blood vial, a lantern, start of combat. I love that. Mummified hand, once per combat, gain 2 if you played a power card this turn. Start of combat, gain strength, lose strength on the turn. Horn Cleat over here. So 1 to 2s are going to give you a defense over there. Whenever you roll that, basically the way the game manages randomness is everything that could be affected by randomness has a die, and you assign 1 die. That 1 die gets rolled, and it affects everything. So you don't have to do every single item. It's just if you roll 3. All the things that are relevant get hit by the 3. So that's the way the game does randomness. It's streamlined. It does come at the cost of some things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to have combinations because, well, you can't have that and that at the same time now. But otherwise, it gives you a great time. We have the Orichalcum, end of turn. 1 if you don't have any block. Ooh, that's fun. It's gain your leftover energy from last turn. Max energy is 6. I love it. Golden Idol, end of combat, gain a gold. Once per combat, retaining number of cards per turn. Wing Boots, you may ignore paths when moving up to the next room. Use this 3 times, then discard it. So overall, just tons of Potions, oh, here's your potions you'll be gathering. Block potion, 2 blocked on your player. Gain 2 energy from energy potions. Draw 3 cards. We have an ectoplasm. Start of turn, gain that, but you can't gain gold. These are boss relics, I believe. I believe these are boss relics versus regular relics. So boss relics, see, transform 3 cards. Use this immediately, then discard it. Coffee dripper. Gain energy. Add thingies, you can't rest. Oh, I want the coffee. I want coffee. I want coffee. Empty cage. Remove 2 cards, use this immediately, then discard it. These are all the various boss relics you can have over here. And then lastly, what is this? Loaded die? What is this? I don't know what these are. I have to go check what these are over here, but there are other stuff. Prismatic shards, prismatic shard, prismatic shard, prismatic shard. Are these for the various players? I don't know enough about. I played the Slay the Spire, but there might be things I don't know, nonetheless. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and put these over here. They're gonna need to be sleeved properly. We'll figure out all the sleeving stuff later. I don't actually like the way they're kind of in there. I really don't like the way they're in there. I feel that that's not great. I don't like this. Sorry, they're just not going in the way I'd want them to. Feels like maybe some of them are supposed to be in there, but not necessarily all. I'm going to put this over here. We'll deal with it later. Speaking of which, do we have pre-sleeved cards? No, we have sleeves over here. So basically the way the system works is everything's going to be sleeved in the game. So you're going to have tons of sleeves. I have a whole box full of sleeves on the side. I have my exclusives over here. I have the Slay the Spire alternate art, which we'll go through some of them. I'm not going to show you every card. There's too much stuff to go through here. But I will say that there's also the full playmat, which I do have, but I'm not going to grab it. There's no real art to it. It's just a plain playmat. It's completely obnoxious and overkill. It gives you a good surface that's Slay the Spire theme. That's all it really does. But anyways, as far as cards, so let's go through some things over here. I'm just going to open some starter decks and see what happens. This is not a starter deck. These are our separators. Anyways, so let's talk about things that I'm playing that are Slay the Spire adjacent. So I actually covered this in a previous video, but I'll say it now here as well, where for a while, what I did, I bought a Steam Deck recently, and I bought it, I bought a Steam Deck, I returned it because the button, I bought an Amazon Warehouse used, which I generally recommend, but the button of this one was a little jammed, so there's actually an issue with it, so I returned it, and now I'm going to be getting the OLED Steam Deck instead. So I'm going to be getting the OLED Steam Deck because they announced around the same time I bought it, they announced that they're doing the OLED Steam Deck, so now I'm just waiting for the OLED Steam Deck to go on sale, and I'll get that. I've been missing my Steam Deck hard. I got really addicted to that, it became the thing. I don't know about you. I doom scroll a lot. Like just when you're on your phone and you just doom scroll, maybe Facebook, maybe Instagram, something has something. And I don't do it the whole day. The whole day I'm busy. But I suck at it in the morning and at night. The very morning, the very at night, that's when I'm terrible. I pull out my phone and instead of getting out of bed or instead of going to sleep, I doom scroll. And that's a problem. And it's a problem that's not good to have. But I did manage to successfully replace my nighttime doom scrolling with Steam Deck for 20 minutes. Which for me is so much more satisfying. Doom scrolling feels like a waste of time. Playing Slay the Spire on Steam Deck, so much fun. So I got really addicted to it. I'm going to get it back at some point. I'm just waiting for the OLED to go on sale because, I'm waiting for the OLED to go on sale. But anyways, as far as that, in the meantime, I've also been playing a lot of Rogue-Lites in general because I also got sucked into Balatro. So we'll talk about that soon. Let's show you some of these cards over here. These are going to be your dividers. So you're going to be placing your dividers over here. Plain and simple. All that. Meow's Blessing over here. Unlocks, Ascension. All that. These are going to be the dividers. They're going to go in here for right now. Let's go ahead and pull out a bunch of cards because we haven't gotten any cards yet. We have the Silent. We have our little card packs over here. We have Meow's Blessing starter cards over here. The organization of this. I mean, they have a whole thing of where everything goes. I'll be using that. But over here we have Meow's Starting Blessings. Gain that. Choose an option. Upgrade a card. Remove a card. Gain 10 HP. There's a lot of Meow's Starting Blessings. I like this. This is basically when you start this bar, you get a starting blessing as to how your economy or various things. Gain 3 potions. Gain 5 and gain a curse. Remove a card. So these are all just your little starting game. Your little starting boon. When you very start the game, don't open until you unlock cards. We will not open it until we unlock cards. We will respect the rules of the game. Anyways, so what are games that I've been playing right now? So I've played a lot of Slay the Spire clones over the years. And when I say a lot, I mean like maybe 10, 15. I said already there's like hundreds, so take it with a grain of salt. And there's different kinds of Slay the Spire clones. There's ones that are on your phone as well. So there's there's app-based games, and then there's Steam-based games. I'm sure there's other platforms too. So I'm going to tell you about some of my favorites, the ones that I've played, and I'd love for you to tell me about some of the ones that I'm missing out on. Why do I need more things to waste time on? I don't know, but we'll deal with that. One of the things I found funny about the Steam Deck, by the way, is the fact that I use the Steam Deck primarily, not exclusively, but primarily for like basically phone-based games. So I was using this like very heavy computer for phone games, effectively, just not happen to be on the phone. Although I do have Slay the Spire on the phone and on Steam Deck, so that's a different problem for a different day. Anyways, let's go through the cards over here. So again, you're going to be dealing with these enemies. These will seem very familiar. You have your looter, who's going to be losing money for every turn, but looter leaves combat, you still get rewards. So you have to be mindful of these. This guy is going to be hitting you for money. Be careful about that. It's going to slowly be going down. If this guy gets to the end, you will lose money and walk away. So you have to kill the looter within 3 turns. Does that seem thematic to you? Yes, I didn't really tell you a lot about this, but effectively, when you have a combat, you put a cube in the top spot. The cube slowly moves down as you go through it, so you know that turn 1 is going to deal 2 damage. Turn 2 is going to do 3 damage and have a shield. Turn 3, he's going to walk away and you're going to lose money. So that's always frustrating there. But in general, you're going to have that kind of system over here as far as how these cards operate that is very similar to the game. You'll have your sneaky gremlins. You know, summon 3 random gremlins. If playing solo, summon 2 instead. So you have these aspects as far as the cards that are familiar enemies you've played. If you've played through Slay the Spire, oh, look at the sentries. Oh, those elite enemies over there. So these are going to come in pairs, I believe. So you're going to have Sentry A is probably going to summon Sentry. No, I guess you summon them. I don't know the card you have. But you're going to summon them in sets. And you're going to have Sentry A, B, and C going through it. I think it's Sentry A, B. Maybe it's just A and B, not C. But you'll have multiple of them together. This guy's charging up, and then he hits you for 3 to everyone. So he hits everyone. You gotta be very careful about these gremlins over here. So in general, during the game, oh, the Lagavulin, the ancient temple. Look at your interactions. The big fish. Each player chooses a different option. Banana, heal 2 HP. Donut, upgrade a starting strike. Box, gain a treasure chest, gain a curse. Restraint, remove a starter strike. So again, all these things are going to happen as far as your interactions, your enemies, the stuff you'd expect to see over here, nothing crazy. So I'm going to just go through cards now, not giving you a commentary on the cards, because I want to talk about my favorite games in the genre. So I'm going to probably bias myself towards the most recent ones. I can't remember all the ones I've played that didn't work for me, but I've played many, and I'll say this, that I don't think I've played a game in this genre of roguelike deck building games. I don't think I've played a single one that I didn't like, but I have played those that made me keep playing them and really had me invested in them, and I play them a lot. Then I have played those that are good, but that's kind of it. And then I've played a bunch that were in the middle, where I played it a little bit, like got sucked in for like 2 or 3 days, and then kind of moved on from. Those aren't the ones that are going to stand out to me. The ones that are going to stand out to me are starting off with Slay the Spire. That's the one I always come back to every single time. I always come back to Slay the Spire again and again and again and again. Those cards are just various conditions. Then past that, I will say I've recently warmed on Monster Train. Monster Train was a game that I had a lot of people tell me is a good game, and I started it, and I didn't get sucked into it the first time round, but I got sucked into it more recently. I've actually grown to appreciate Monster Train. Still like Slay the Spire more, but I've actually been having a lot of fun with the system of Monster Train. You're kind of going through train cars, going level by level. The enemies are trying to power past you and strike your altar or whatnot, but I've really been enjoying it a lot more as I've gotten better and unlock stuff. I would say to me, the thing that's second to the most on Slay the Spire, meaning the Slay the Spire is the most addictive by far, but the one that's very much come close is Balatro. I've been going through Balatro a lot. I probably can play a game of Balatro, I don't know, every 3rd day right now. I probably knock a game out. It's a lot of fun. Ancient Writing, Elegance, remove a card, Simplicity, upgrade a starter strike, and starter defend. But yeah, anyways, Balatro is a lot of fun. It's a poker-themed game, which I don't care about poker at all, and I love Balatro. I just had a card combo yesterday. I think I got my highest score on a single round ever, and I'm sure there's someone out there who can beat me, but I got $400,000 points on a single play of a hand. I had like all these multipliers in place, and it was great. I finally finished. I've like won the game a few times, but each time you win, you unlock more options and you get more ways you can do that particular level, so you never really fully win. Stop until you reach Ascension 1. Is that going to be true for all of these over here? Nope. This one giant pack of cards. We're fine on this one. Anyway, so Balatro is probably the second most addicting. Monster Train is definitely up there. I have recently tried the Landlord game. I tried the demo. I didn't bother buying it. It might be really good. I wasn't compelled enough for the demo. Something Landlord. It's actually one of the inspirations for Balatro. Fun fact there. But then Monster Train, Balatro, Slay the Spire. One I like that's very different, not the same genre as all, but similar, is I've actually really been enjoying Backpack Battles. Like that a lot. Very different. Not nearly as addicting, but it's strangely addicting. I would say the other one that has really worked for me, because I think Balatro, Monster Train, and Slay the Spire are the main ones. I think the other one that's really worked for me is actually on your phone. I'm going to try to find it for you, because I can't remember the name of it. But effectively, let's go ahead and find it here. Okay, let's go ahead and to my games. It is Slice and Dice. Or is it Dice and Slice? Crud. 1 second, I need to go into it. Because, no, that's not that one. Not that one. I think it's Slice and Dice. Yeah, it's Slice and Dice. Oh my gosh, Slice and Dice is very good. So, I have Pirates, what's it called again? What is this called? Give me a second while it logs in. Pirates Outlaws. So, Pirate Outlaws, it's an Android game. I'm sure it's on Apple as well. But Pirates Outlaws is one that I have enjoyed a lot, but it's not sticking as firmly in my head as far as how much I like it. Whereas Slice and Dice Slice and Dice is the other one that I would say is very much up there. It's very much an incredible game that I've really gotten sucked into. And I think they actually have a Steam version coming. Now, this is the part where I'm asking for your recommendations. Those are the 4 that I think are the highest in this genre. Slice and Dice, Balatro, Slay the Spire, and Monster Train. Which ones am I missing? Because I've played a bunch, and I might not love the ones that you love. That's the reality of this. But let me know which ones you've really enjoyed in the comments down below, and I'll possibly try them out. At the very least, I'll wish list them on Steam. At the very least, like, you know, you never know what you're going to try to get your hands on at any given point. But when something's $4, it's always more compelling than when it's full price. So, any game in this genre that goes on a decent enough sale, I would almost certainly get. Now, you're going to have, by the way, all the 4 starting classes in Slay the Spire are going to be here. You're going to have them all manifesting in different ways. You have the person who juggles his, like, various energy cubes and whatnot. He has a name. Like, I don't remember what it is, but he has a name. But you have all that stuff. There's so much content in this game. It all mimics the actual board game that you know, and the actual, not board game. It's not a board game. It mimics the actual video game that you either know or don't know. But I was going to say know and love, and then I realized you might actually not know it, and you might not love it. You might not know anything about it. But yeah, we have these characters. The Silent, the Ironclad, and then where are the others? Because I 1 second. There, am I missing something? Oh, here we go. And then we have the Watcher and the Defect. Okay, that's gonna be your other characters over here. So we have all this as far as our various characters for the game. All the stuff. We got our various boards. Oh, I didn't really show you this over here. I don't think I showed you them. I think I just pulled them out. But we have your Ascension boards. Let's zoom back in a bit. So you have your Ascension boards over here that will have your act on them, and you have your little pathways you're moving up over here, which again will be very familiar. Some elements are randomized and some are static, so you'll have different degrees of, or I guess different elements of different types are randomized or static to give you that feeling as far as that differences, as far as, you know, every map or every game experience is a slightly different one. But that's basically what we have over here. I'm excited to dive into this one. This is a game that I've really enjoyed playing through the video game. I've really enjoyed playing through the board game during the prototype phase, and I've really enjoyed playing through the board game when I had a chance to play it at Gamma. And now the next step is actually just playing through the board game. I'm not done with the unboxing yet. We still have these to show you, and then I'll have to figure out how to consolidate it all later. But that's basically what you got for Slay the Spire. Time to go through the unboxing stuff. And again, I'm looking forward to your recommendations because I want to see what I tried. And if I have played it, I'll comment. I might comment why they haven't worked for me, because again, this genre of games is very popular right now. And Slay the Spire, I think, is the one that started it all. It was started by a board game, or multiple board games, I guess, but it became its own genre-defying thing. So I think they were the first to do it in the video game space, and they did it incredibly well in a way that very much have people on board. Ooh, we got our playmat for the merchant deck. So I'll put this in there later, but we have our playmat for the merchant deck. Is that what this is, or is it a different playmat? Why does this look like similar but the same? I thought we already had one of these. Or did we have a playmat for something else that I missed up what I had? Don't know. But either way, we have this here. Not for sale. Ooh, interesting. I'll cut that off with scissors later. I'll cut that off. I don't need a not for sale sticker on my playmat. I'm sure there's a good reason to have it, but I don't need it. We have our card pack, and then we have our dice. Ooh, we have a better dice. Is that what's this going on? This is a better dice. It's actually a slightly more annoying dice, but it's arguably better. So this dice over here is going to be your upgraded Slay the Spire dice, where the colors are not nearly as obvious. That's a 5 over there. That's a 4. That's a 2. I don't love that at all. I think it's like, I think you can see it, but like the numbers are just more intuitive. I like what they're going for. I'm a sucker and probably will use this. I will say the lighting, this is a situation where the lighting actually shows up better on camera than it does in person. Like, I have to kind of glance at that. Like, it's not immediately obvious. Don't love that, but it is what it is. And then we have these over here, which I assume there's a reason. Oh, the keys. They have the keys. I didn't know that they had the keys in here. I don't think I knew that. So, these are the keys. Once you start going through Slay the Spire, you'll have the opportunity to earn these from like elite fights or treasure chests or resting areas. And you have these over here. Oh my gosh. To obtain, all players must skip a relic simultaneously. All players, to obtain, defeat a elite before combat begins. Each set shuffles into their deck. And then we have to defeat, all players must take no action at the same campfire. Oh my gosh. Okay. I like the fact they have this. I do like the fact they have that in play. And now let's see what we have for the claw pack over here, which I will reluctantly open. Oh, we also have this. The foil pack. Ooh, fun. Fun. Foil cards. Okay. Now the claw pack. Let's go ahead and open this and see what we got. We're almost done. We're almost done. We have these. These are alternate art cards. I'll go through some of them. Claw. Okay. Gain a red cube. X how many red cubes you gain this combat. Ooh, the claws. The claws. That's the specific card you have. To use the claw pack, first remove the 2 claws from the base name's defect reward pack, then add the claws from the claw pack to that deck. How many clocks should I add? 2, the minimum, recommended, a bit overpowered but fun. I like that. I like the idea of overpowered but fun. But, I mean, honestly, using the overpowered but fun together with ascension levels is a nice way to balance. Now, ascension levels are the idea that you power up the game to a certain extent as you play through it. Okay, now how does this work? This is going to be, I assume these are going to be foil upgrades to cards, which means you'd probably replace those cards, I assume. Like, I don't know what the criteria for which ones they had are. Blade Dance skill. Okay, that's going to be the side. So we go. Okay, here we go. So we have our slightly shiny cards over here. Not the best shiny cards I've seen, but not the worst either. Adrenaline, Diva Form, Omega. And again, I assume you're going to replace their cards in the base game with a foil version of that card. Cut Through Fate. Scry 2. Draw a card. We have Echo Form, Storm, Whirlwind, Apparition, Ascender's Bane. We have Golden Ticket. Golden Ticket. Golden Ticket. Golden tickets can't be added to your deck. When you reveal a golden ticket, reveal a card from your rare deck. Basically, this is a way to make sure that you get your hands on rare cards in the game. Does it have instructions on this? It doesn't, but I assume it's just replace. But golden tickets is the way they made sure that you have rare cards in play. When you draw golden tickets, you just draw a matching rare card. So it gives you that certainty of getting some rare content. And again, I'll integrate this into this box later, but I'm not going to worry about that for right now because, well, I don't want to. Then lastly, we have this over here. We have our Slay the Spire alternate art pack with, appropriately enough, alternate art. We also have some sleeves off to the side, but I don't think they're that interesting to show you. So it's I mean, it's like boxes of sleeves. That's it. I don't have anything better to tell you. Anyways, as far as this over here, we got our alternate art pack over here. So all these packs in here, more space in case you want to save your cards. I probably will keep them stored separately because I don't imagine there's room for them all otherwise. And let's go ahead and open this up. I know there's a little tab on it where you could pull it. I do find sometimes that to pull those tabs, it often can result in you like kicking the card with your nail. I find using a knife just better overall if you carry a knife around with you, which I do because I open a lot of boxes, so I always carry a knife around with me. We have, which sounds more threatening than I intended to mean. In fact, but I carry a knife around with me enough that twice now I've had to throw these out at TSA, which is why I usually try to carry expensive knives. This knife is $15 on Amazon. The hard part is I do have 2 knives that have been gifted to me, and those knives, I alternate which knife I carry with me at any given point. But if I was ever carrying those knives to TSA, that I'd feel bad about, because I don't even know the cost of them, but they were gifts. They're not as easily replaceable. But twice now I've forgotten to remove my knife when I went to the airport, and then I'm going through TSA and I'm like, here's this knife, feel free to throw it out. And they're like, we will. Anyways, here we go for the various prototype art or alternate art pack, whatever. This isn't as much my jam, honestly. I don't even know if I'll bother sleeving this. I'll say this, here's all I'll say, okay? I don't know. What I was gonna say is, if you want the alternate art pack, I don't know, we'll see. I might have to wait and decide. I just don't know if I care about this. I care about the real art of the game more so. I like the idea of this alternate art pack, but I think I'm here more for the real art of the game. This is a cute idea, fun thing. I think there's an audience for this. I'll probably try to just sell this and move on from it, because even now looking at it, this is not my jam. Just so you know, over here, these cards are all replicated in the base game. These are, if you want to use these cards, you'd have to remove the appropriate card from the base game and use these instead. So they're not extra abilities. In theory, it might give you extra playability if you proxy some other cards and all that, but I don't think I care enough. I think these are just cards I'm going to move away from, because, again, I appreciate that they exist, and I don't know if I need them. I think there's an audience for this stuff. I don't think I'm the target audience. There's so much stuff in life in general to deal with that you don't need to get your hands on everything. Anyways, that is going to be your unboxing of Slay the Spire. A game I really enjoyed, a game I might at some point do a 12x12 review on, but that might not happen for a while. In general, my 12x12 reviews are infrequent because they often require a lot of time given to a game. And it's hard to give that much time to a game on a, well, with the way I play games, and the way I play games both because I like to try different things, but also as a content creator who's trying to cover games for my job, for my little job, I do find that I don't often get to play games that are knocking out 12 plays of them. And again, something like this, I'd need more than 12 plays because I want to... The 12x12 is just what I call the series, but ultimately they often have me playing games a lot more than 12 times. It just depends on the game. But I want to try it in all different configurations, formats, player counts, characters, ascension modes, daily unlocks. I want to get a sense of everything the game has to offer before I do a truly in-depth review, as opposed to the, hey, I played this game 5 times, here's a review kind of review, which is the more common kind of the channel, which isn't perfect. And that's a whole different longer conversation around the nature of board game content and review content. And I've talked about this in other videos, but I don't think review content is ever going to be perfect when it's given to you early. It'll be better when it's given to you late, but when it's late is when it's not as useful. which is why I'm a big fan of top 100 lists or top 10 lists, because that's often a good time to see the best of the best as opposed to just what currently is passing by someone's desk. Anyways, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.